This is There Goes My Money.
All right, welcome everyone to another There Goes My Money, episode number 26 on this fine August 2nd, which is a Wednesday at time of recording. Today we have that John D and HMR4EVR on Twitter, the Headmaster Don and John DeLuna, and myself, Diecast, at Diecast2 on Twitter. And let's go ahead and get into the first item. Let's not waste any time. And we have DX9's D13 Montana, which this is their first attempt at a breakdown.
It sure is. He's very boxy.
It's very G1.
Very G1. Yeah. That's breakdown. That there is no question about it.
Yes.
It looks good. It's just, I guess after me getting the fans project Stunticons and kind of being disappointed with how that turned out, I really don't see me ever going after the Stunticons again. It's just I'm just kind of burned out on them.
And he's about Seeker sized, I guess, is the closer. He's, they have him in some masterpiece shots, and I guess the Seeker is the closest in height to him.
Yeah, so it's going to be big.
Yeah, I mean, these are retailing for $99.99 a piece for all four limbs. And then Motormaster, which is also up for pre-order, D14 Capone is $159.99.
Dang.
So this is going to be an expensive combiner.
Which is kind of interesting because if you look at the new Zeta Toys aerial bots, they're about Seeker size and they're $60.
Yeah, and also don't forget about is it the X-Trans bots that's coming out with the breakdown for $40?
Right.
That is very G1 too. So that's in direct competition with the DX9, in my opinion. And $40, you can get two limbs for the price of not even one.
Yeah, and granted, though, the Zeta is an unknown. I mean, they may be using the same factories as make toys and other companies, but they are still something of an unknown variable. So there is that.
Yeah, well, just try and compare, Stunticons to Stunticons. I hate to say it, but I think X-Trans Bots wins this one.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Hey, remind me, DX9's quality reputation, is it good or bad?
Pretty good. It's better. I think they have decent quality.
Yeah. Well, their carry is, that again, it depends on how you look at the branding. DX9 unique. It depends on, there's that weirdness going on, but carry is a solid toy. It is rock solid. So there's that.
Yeah, and I think that was DX9 also. So to get into other very expensive combiners, we have Generation Toy GT6 Derron drill set, and this comes with a pair of drills that will actually rotate on their own. They must have a little motor in them to allow them to turn, and that is $569.99.
Now you've got the green version of this, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, so how is the overall quality that you run into? Is it?
It's they definitely had some issues. A lot of them got fixed with future pieces, so I'm sure this set's going to be great. I mean, it's not going to have any issues because this is the second set of this combiner figure. It just seems like so much when you put it in a gift set.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice finally getting a yellow Devastator other than the yellow Giant, because I think that's the only person back in the day when they did the yellow version of Giant around the same time Hercules came out. Because remember, there was that big debate on which one looked better, Hercules versus Giant. So this is the first yellow Devastator we've gotten since then. But again, $569. That's a lot of toy.
It's a lot of money. Have we ever gotten an orange Devastator? We have still yet to not get that, right?
Well, this is not exactly yellow. Well, it's closer to yellow than orange, but it's still, I'm thinking maybe they chose that color as a good in-between point between the yellow and the orange, so that way, because if you did yellow, people would want orange. If you did orange, they'd want yellow. So this sort of, to me, that's what this looks like. This is more like an in-between color, satisfy both people. Personally, I still rather have the translucent clear one, but that's just me.
Yeah, I like the color on this because it is closer to orange than we've ever gotten.
But not like, day glow, not like the pure orange that like the G1 one was.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to pass on that one.
Yeah, it's something I'll put on my list of, like, if I see it on clearance 5 years down the road, like what Big Bad was doing with some of the TFC stuff. If I see that, I might pick it up at some point way down the road.
And then next up on the list, we have Old Timer Series OTS01, which I think is kind of weird. They're giving him that 01, even though this is a new design of Huff or Huffer.
Yes.
And
First name Huff and last name
Yes. And he's pre-order priced at $79.99, and this kind of bothers me a little bit how they do this with the Bad Cube stuff. Is pipes, which we'll talk about next, is $10 cheaper, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
other than they're like, we know Huff is going to be more popular, so we're going to put him $10 higher.
Well, according to the listing, he does have a alternate face. So maybe Pipes doesn't come with that face since he only has the faceplate. And so maybe that's literally why that's there, is to help cover the cost of the extra faceplate production. It looks good. I mean, because we don't have a Masterpiece Huffer that we know of yet, other than the X-Trans box, but those are much larger, I think, than these.
And the original Bandicoot, or the original Cube-X one, which had some issues, which is one of the reasons they changed factories and changed their name, allegedly.
The only thing about Bad Cube is, I mean, I've got one or two of their figures. I'm actually blanking on which one I've got at the moment. But it's they're over engineered sometimes, and that's why I didn't get their Hoist or Trailbreaker, because it was just really over engineered in my opinion. This looks like it'd be a lot simpler because it's a mini bot, and it looks good. It does look good. Yeah. But I kind of want to see how, it fares in the QC.
I mean, I'm gonna get it. I really think it looks good, and I'm really excited about it. And the next one is the Old Time Series OTS 13 Piper, which is, or Warrior, which is their pipes, and he looks great.
Yeah, and I would probably be more. I've always liked Pipes more than Huffer because at least it did something different with the design. And according to the listing at BBTS, it does not list the extra face.
Yeah, but he's $10 cheaper. So
no, that's what I'm saying though. That so maybe I was right on that. Is it does have the. But I liked the way he looks. He's got a very simple color palette, but that blue is actually blue is kind of a hard color on figures to get right, because you remember that beachcomber Akir did that looked like a good beachcomber, except the color was more like a Carolina blue than a beachcomber blue.
Yeah, Akir always had problems with their colors though.
But I mean, I would probably be more inclined to get Pipes over Huffer. But there may be places that do a set offer for both of them, so that could be something good.
So are these guys effectively the same size as Masterpiece Bumblebee? Is that what I can expect here?
Yeah, pretty much. They may be a little bit bigger than Bumblebee.
I think that's fine, I guess, for that price point. Actually, considering what Masterpiece Bumblebee went for, this is pretty darn fair, I guess I would say.
And it's another indication of how the line, price-wise, the lines between third party and Takara are blending when you're actually getting their Masterpiece level figures. Masterpiece aesthetic, again, people will say, well, the finish isn't there or this isn't there. But basically, when you look at the Masterpiece scale, it's the same price as your official figures, and maybe in some cases cheaper. Because if Bumblebee came out now, do you think he would still be $69 if he came out now, coming with Spike and the exosuit and all that? Probably not.
Yeah. And finally on the list for this week, we have Generations Toy GT2 Re-Tyrant. I guess
let's Tyrant again.
It's Re-Space Tyrant, I guess. I don't know. And this is IDW, right, Don? IDW?
I believe so, since I don't read the comics. But this is basically a Voyager version, maybe a little bit bigger than Voyager, of the Stealth Bomber Megs, because a lot of people in Generations liked that Stealth Bomber Megatron, but everyone said the same thing that I talked to. It's too small for a Megatron.
Oh, this is Masterpiece sized.
Okay.
Yeah, this is big.
Okay, it's like MP10 sized, I would say. I'm interested in this one. I did not get the Optimus Prime from them, the GT1. I don't know why I like this Megatron, this look for Megatron so much.
Well, probably because you're seeing a lot of Lost Night Megatron, and you and I both think those designs for Last Night Megatron are some of the best looking Megatrons they've done in the movies, and there's some design cues here. Well, they probably copied Last Night Megatron from some of their older designs, but you still see a little bit of carryover from one to the other.
Yeah, he just something about the sculpt and the design on him just really speaks to me. It's very evocative of what I would want Megatron to be after G1.
I will say that if they do a Dreadwing recolor like we got for Generations, I would be probably really tempted to get that in the G2 Dreadwing colors.
Yeah, this looks like a really good mold, just in general. And the Stealth Bomber mode looks really good. Because there's like a picture of one of the samples, like one of the tooling samples. And you can see the underside of the bomber, and it looks really clean. There's really not a lot of robot stuff to be found. So if the build quality is good, this looks like it's a really well-designed take on it, for sure.
Well, John, you're not the third-party person that some of us are. Even though
I buy third-party here and there, but I'm at this point incredibly choosy.
Exactly. So is this something like a casual third-party buyer would be interested in, or
like me personally, no, but like in general, like I think just because it's Megatron, they certainly have a good shot at a much more casual crowd, for sure. It's a big name. It looks cool. It is kind of expensive, I guess, for like a casual person to drop $160. That's kind of a lot. Yeah. But
that's what MP. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, that was it. I mean, is it a little bit beyond like impulse buy, even for like a hardcore fan? Maybe. But he's got everything else going for him.
Yeah, and if you like that Megatron and the Generations one was too small, and he is to scale with basically MP10, this may be your only chance to get that version of your character in the scale he should be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like I think what you were going to say, Don, which you're absolutely correct. MP10 at Toys R Us right now is $159.
Yeah. Again, that's official versus unofficial, but
Right.
you're still getting. There's probably in some cases almost as much plastic and stuff in this Megatron, not counting Prime's trailer. If you just compare robot to robot without all the trailer and stuff, there's probably going to be a comparable level of what's in the actual figure itself. So I mean, it's you're not paying anything more if you want a leader in that format. You're paying the exact same thing that you would pay at Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of cool factor stuff going for him. So, hey, Diecast, I'll ask again. Like Generation Toy, do they have a good reputation for quality? Can people feel pretty confident in this guy?
I think by now they've earned their reputation as being pretty decent. So I think you can go ahead. Not like KFC, the Kingzilla that just came out. Apparently, people have been having the arms pop off on it. So
Oh my God.
Yeah, of him between him and Ape Face, that's the one I was looking at the most because I would eventually go back and get the Ape Face because I've always said Snapdragon has always had a better looking profile because he uses all of his parts a lot better in all three modes, whereas Ape Face winds up literally being a monkey on his back.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's problems with the arms and pieces popping up, from what I've heard, the spring it's like Triptychon. The spring is so powerful, it's basically fracturing the arm.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like in fairness to taking a risk on third-party quality stuff, like recently Hasbro, specifically Triptychon's kind of been a roll of the dice too. So there's risk in everything, I guess, right now.
Yeah. And Diecast, this isn't in the notes, but I didn't know if you wanted to mention this or not because it is something that was originally announced for it's a repaint kind of, but it might be something a lot of our higher end fans might be interested in. It's not a Unicron lamp by any means, but it's nice.
Someday, Don. Someday you'll have that lamp.
Someday.
if it goes on clearance and he can Dononomics it.
It had
Well,
me
we know you can do the second part. I don't know about the other stuff.
Yeah, it's just. But yeah, I thought I'd just bring this up if you wanted to show off the picture while we're doing it.
So this is an exclusive to Big Bad?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, interesting.
It's and for the audio listeners, it's Masterpiece Battle Unicorn.
Oh yeah, finally.
Finally, I'm just kidding. Now it's basically their 3A, as are doing the high end figures as they're well known for, and they are doing a Nemesis Optimus that will be the BBTS exclusive. Again, it's got the teal and it's got the red, so it's like they're trying to hit both the Scourge aesthetic and the Nemesis aesthetic. It's hard to say, but it will be coming out fourth quarter. Total price is $389. So it's probably one of the most expensive Action Masters you're going to buy.
So for that price, they don't even include the batteries. Come on.
Oh, really? I hadn't even looked at that. I forgot to
Yeah,
look
it says
at
it
that.
requires eight special batteries.
Well,
Not
AG,
AAAs.
yeah, it's AG13s, which are little button cells. I like the way this figure looks, except now, guys, you look at this. Y'all look at the same picture I am. Why does the torso proportions look so out of place compared to the legs? Is it me, or is he just like Dreamwave legs and a short torso?
They're like skewed a little bit. Like it should be a little bit boxier, and they tried to.
It's like an exaggerated A stance, and it's like they try to sculpt it into A stance and then give it ankles for a bigger A stance.
Yeah, I don't like it, especially not for $400.
Yeah.
$39 non-refundable down payment required.
But again, it is something. There are a lot of higher end collectors. Like there's a lot of collectors that only do Hot Toys. I said Hot Topic. Hot Toys and Sideshow 12-inch figures, and those aren't cheap. The only ones of those I ever wanted was the Michael Keaton Batman and Nicholson Joker, and they were almost $400, I think, when they came out. You can't get one now for less than $500 or $600 easy.
Yeah.
So there are those higher end peoples, and I like the way it looks from a color standpoint. It's just, even if let's say $199, which would be a hell of a figure for $199. That proportion thing is just really wonky.
Yeah, it's really weird. They tried to like sculpt. They put in the sculpt like forced perspective and dynamic lines and things like that. I guess so. It gets real anime on you real fast when you start posing it. But you're right. If you're gonna when you look at like the normal like just kind of like front shot of it just standing there.
Yeah,
it's
to
really
me
weird.
To me, it's very Dreamwave. It's just long legs, short torso.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it is coming out. It does look pretty, so And if anyone winds up picking this up, just let us know what you think of it when you get it.
Yep. And also, if you want to see some awesome reviews, please go to RFC Reviews on YouTube, and you can check out a bunch of reviews, as well as I just put up a Diecast talks about stuff, and I talk about KO, third party, and IP, that sort of thing. So you can get my views on that. And we also have on this week's RFC, we talk about RC. So make sure that I think Hasbro just canceled. That it's not actually going to be at HasCon. Sorry, Don.
He keeps poking the bear. It's like, oh, look, it's a bear. I'm gonna poke it with a stick. Well, guess what happens?
Don's going to see me at TFCon, and he may kill me.
Well, I mentioned on RFC that I'm going to try to find as many because everyone that knows that collects Jewel Lords from Rock Lord Solitaire has a lot of very sharp points on her when she's in Jewel mode. So I can throw them at him without it being a deadly weapon because it's just a Rock Lord, but she has points. So I just need to find some more of those.
So Don, are you gonna have to buy every version of Headmaster RC that's released from now till the end of time?
No,
you're gonna get this one and that's it.
The only thing they're going to repaint her unless they do Chromia, Firestar, Alita 1, Powerglad's girlfriend is a robot, whatever the case may be. If they do something different,
too creepy.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, or Sea Spray's girlfriend, they can recolor her that she gets a robot mode again, and so you can have that and Sea Spray together. Yeah.
Oh, finally, yes, I love it.
Yeah, of course. But unless it's a character that the mold fits, this is pretty much just going to be RC for me in the shelf, and I'm good and done until Masterpiece RC comes out.
Yes, the first one will not be a Headmaster, and then in another 5 years they'll do MP37A, which
the Paradron Medic version.
Yes, and then maybe Headmaster RC.
Boy, John, we'll be like 50 by the time that happens.
I'll probably be dead. So
Don.
Well, I'm just saying, it took me 23 years to get this.
Well, you got it, bud.
Yep. Well,
finally.
not till it's in my grubby little hands.
And it was a blur repaint, so users.
But the thing of it is, at least it came at a time where they were putting more. Excuse me, Massey. No. Sorry, he's over there crying to be let out. At least it's coming at a time where they're putting a lot of thought and effort into the remolds instead of just basically years ago they said there was a problem with their name reusage, is they were just slapping it on anything just to keep the name, and it wasn't fitting the character. So at least they're in a mindset now where they're trying to make everything work, not just for that one character, but on down the road to fit future releases. So at least we're getting it at a good time.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's where our money went this week. So please support the show by using tfradio.net/Amazon. Do all your regular shopping on Amazon, and Amazon will not charge you any more. What they do is kick a couple pennies back to Brian Kilby so he can keep the lights on and keep these shows going. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on There Goes My Money.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
This has been There Goes My Money.